Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, really impressed by the turnaround by Dadman. I sent the turn over only 2 hours ago, actually. So really great turnaround. We might even be able to see another turn today, if we're really quite lucky, but we'll see. We shall see. How you doing, Doom? Good to have you, my man. Good to see you all. Hope you're all doing very, very well here today. Get started in now, actually. Take that up. How you doing, therefore? Good to have you, man. Yeah. Good questions, though, regarding the ASW. Good questions regarding the transfer of oil. I'm not entirely sure. I do believe oil can be transferred, such as fuel, such as supply. Live fast, die young, leave a good-looking corpse. That's nice. He sent, actually, within the email, saying that everyone's collapsed like a house of cards. Which I'm not too surprised about. I mean, we have been hitting these places quite hard, but he's been giving us that opportunity. That could change at any moment, and it looks like it is beginning to change in southern China. We are somewhat worried about central China, but I'm going to continue to move additional forces to central China where able. We will be landing additional forces on the Chinese coast. The reason for that is, well, it helps us to actually bulk up. Okay, so he takes back Prome. Bit of a problem. Not really, but it was nice while we had it. Hey, Imperator, good to have you, my man. Looks like you're new to the channel, so welcome, welcome. I believe I will be doing some Grand Tactician later on tonight, actually. So that'll be fun. Okay, so we do have our ASW round truck reacting there, which is good. Okay, loading up elements of the Imperial Guard. Lovely. The Kilgore is going to remain just a little bit outside of truck until we do clear the area of subs. Clearing the mines at a job. Yeah, you can see that we're reacting there to the subs. Which is good. Sweeping more mines. We are preparing to actually go ahead and surge out and take Port Moresby in the near future. So we are attacking the S-37 over here. I mean, this is shallow waters. She only has the 1 depth charge launcher, but that's still going to do a lot of damage in the shallow waters. 2 and more definitely do better. But yeah, you can see we are causing damage. This is the is that the Tycho? Yes, the Tycho Blue. Hey there, Plumber. Good to have you, my man. We've only just begun. We do have a S-37 over here being hit by ASW in this area. We are seeing ASW reacting to submarines around truck, which is something I did set up. What I'm doing is... Oh, yes, I did set up the DDs to go ahead and intercept this force over here. Well, I say force, I think I might have been overestimating it there, really. Yeah. But it's still worthwhile taking out. How you doing there, Boken? Good to have you, my man. Yeah, British ASW is pretty damn impressive. Like, the amount of, like, depth charge launches is incredible, really. Naval strikes was last turn. Ideally, we do have naval strikes this turn. It would be nice if we could actually hit the naval assets at Rembury Island. I did go ahead and actually transfer the other G3 squadron to Chiang Mai. What I'm also going to do is actually transfer the 3rd Air Division to Chiang Mai. The reason is it's additional aviation support, but the good news is the range of said headquarters is 4 hexes, which actually brings Rangoon into range from Chiang Mai, which is actually pretty useful. So we could actually do that and bring a number of bases into range quite easily. And allows me then to have Southern Army moved elsewhere in the near future. 3rd Air Division will probably head into like somewhere like Sumatra, likely into this position here in the near future. But I can get some use out of her in the meantime. Hey, doing there, Brass Monkey? Good to have you, my man. Yeah, Dutch. The Dutch are nice too. Yeah, she took quite a few shells though. She does go down. I thought there was more than the 1 there, but we'll see. We do have zeros, and we do have some B5 and 2 Kates that we set up at, ooh, Nadzab. They're resting this turn, besides the zeros which are running the cap. But we will be going ahead and actually attacking ship and entering into Port Moresby starting from tomorrow, really. That's going to be the idea. Oh, I wanted to actually bombard during the night, sorry, during the daytime, so I should have had retirement allowed, but I'm surprised. I thought remain on station. Yeah, they remain on station, so I thought they would have bombarded during the day. Hey-ho, it doesn't particularly matter. They're still going to cause disruption and fatigue, but I would have preferred a daytime bombardment. But I do have AKs moving up over here. Hey, Mike, good to have you, my man. What I'm going to be doing here, by the way, we do have 6 heavy cruisers in this bombardment. What I'm going to be doing is, I do have tanks over here. They were due to arrive at Pegu. But there's 2 regiments. 1 regiment will continue to Pegu. 1 regiment is actually going to go to this hex here. We should actually have the 2 divisions here in this hex today, and we should have a Thai division here today as well. I'm moving a Thai division out from Rangoon down this way as well. So he's in Pegu. What I'm going to try to do is essentially trap him in Pegu. The bombardment should be nice. If they have ammo, they should also bombard in the day phase. That'd be nice. Right. I need to look up how to get them to do it in the daytime. I wish there was like a button for like daytime bombardment, nighttime bombardment. That'd be nice. And we'll speed it up over here and we'll see what the actual extent of the damage is. Just using the heavy cruisers. I do have the AKEs moving up as well, so soon enough we'll be able to actually just reinforce them. You can see that they're targeting the enemy forces here. So it's only come up with 73 casualties here, which doesn't look like that much. Which is actually somewhat surprising. But we did have them firing here. Now, obviously they were due to set... they were due to actually bombard the day, so either or, a little bit disappointing. I would have preferred a daytime bombardment, but I'll have to double check and make sure they do that. So I had it set up for only 1 at night for the spotter there. But we can get the AKs, we can actually bombard. You gotta be 5. That can't be like, that's so strange. You should be able to bombard during the daytime in a hex. Maybe we just need to have retirement allowed to make sure they bombard during the daytime. It'd be weird if you had to be a certain amount of hexes where you can't work like that. It'd be so weird if you did. But hey ho, they cause some damage. We'll get the AKs, rearm them, and then bombard again. Here we are. We are sweeping the mines here at Rangoon. I do have forces. Right, so we do see Tambot over here, hit but no explosion, which is quite nice. But we are moving out here. But that's so strange that Evoken. I mean, I get that, but if you're in the hex and you're... it must be retirement allowed. Retirement allowed must be daylight bombardments. I had them remain on station. So if I have them retirement allowed and they retire into the U, then there should be no reason. That's strange. That's strange. Oh, now they're bombarding during the daytime. Right, okay. That's intriguing, then. Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go, Voken. I'm not sure, man. I guess it might be like the first time when it said if they have the ammunition, they'll do it, or if they're just in position, might do it during both phases. Probably, if they're in position, they'll do it during both phases, but here we go, we'll get a second bombardment now. Excuse me. I don't imagine as much ammunition, but hey, it's a daylight bombardment, it's 2 bombardments in a day, that's nice. Right, so they've seen their 66 casualties inflicted, which is not a huge amount, but yeah, this is a don't need the spotters. Obviously more substantial. I do wonder if that's actually the real sense of bombardment. But that's fine. The disruption and fatigue is what matters anyway. Right, so he's actually still within the hex over here, so I should ideally bloody get an attack today. I really want that attack, but he's really, he's been very persistent there, which is rather intriguing. He might be using it as a cap trap, but we are using the 2-0 squadrons to actually escort, so it should be fine. Okay, yep. I do have a Kitabatai over here to Caroline Island, the reason being it's a ocean shallow hex, so it's actually better protected against the enemy submarines. And the good news is we can actually take a look and see where the enemy submarines are. We can see their headings, we can see their speed, we can see roughly where they are, well, obviously where, we might be able to take a look at where they're going next if you get me, obviously by working out said information. We can take a look at previous turns and actually figure out maybe like a rough patrol pattern. Okay, not long before these guys are transferred out to possibly China. Or at least a number of them to China. We are going to need them over here at Mindanao. Yeah, a few good hits in there, that's nice. Yeah, good to hit the supply as well, that's nice. Hitting the Chinese forces over here once again. Yeah, I mean, Bataan... Oh, there we go. Oh, damn, they're going in unescorted. They should not have been going in unescorted. That's not going to end well. Well, we'll lose 1 there, it seems, but they should have had an escort of Key 43s. Yeah, they should have had an escort. I'm glad I kept it low, but they should have had an escort. That's a little bit worrying, actually. Maybe something went wrong there, but they should have had an escort. Glad I did not send too many. But we do see he has a cap out that way then, so fair enough. Yeah, they were set up to actually have an escort though, so maybe something went wrong. Oh well. Coordination sometimes can be a problem. Losing one's not too bad. I would have preferred to have lost none, but hey, I suppose it's not too bad. Okay, moving into... Is it going to be the PM phase here? Yes, moving into the PM phase. Right, get a strike, please, for the love of God. I mean, there's all these ships here. You've seen them for the last few days. You've got good detection. Just put a fish in them. That's all I'm asking for. Just put a fish in them. I don't know what the weather is here today, actually. It was forecasted to not be that bad. Oh, we do have our reconnaissance, by the way, over here now. Right, yep, you can see that I'm attacking them. That's good. Yep, okay. Please attack. Just attack. Just do it. Make your dreams come true. Oh, no, okay. That's annoying. I don't know why they're not attacking. It might be some sort of weather issue. They definitely know they're there. I don't know, that's strange. Maybe a commander issue, we'll have to take a look at that. So we do see the Trout out here. So, the good news is that we do have the ASW forces reacting, and because obviously the Jakes, they do follow them, so that's quite good. Helps us to actually keep tabs on him, which is good news. Yeah, we'll have to... Why do I know about that? Why would I know about that? What? Wait, what? What? Yeah, maybe. We are deliberate attacking here today. That's weird. Oh, right, okay. That's the first time I've seen it. Don't often see that, actually. That's interesting. I mean, I do wonder what he's doing out there. It's very odd. I just cannot believe that our G3s just have not put the fish into them early. We'll take a look at the commander. We have 246 to 121, so reduce fortifications to 1, so we don't take it here today. We do have additional men on the way as well. Another 2 or so regiments to make sure we do take it. We inflicted pretty bad losses on him. He had a unit destroyed over here, which is nice. We just had entirely disabled, which can be recovered, which is excellent. Yeah, so we have another 2 regiments on the way, I believe. We'll have these guys recovered during that time, and then we'll go ahead and attack. What was our roll, actually? We had 246 to 131, which is not too bad, really. We had 2 to 1 odds there. We took him down to level 1 fortifications. I think with the additional regiments, we'll take him. I am launching an attack here with the 3rd and the 39th and 13th Tank Regiment against the 58th Chinese Corps, which is out here. The tanks actually in movement mode, as I decided I wanted them elsewhere. Okay, couple there. Yeah, Wooded Rough isn't too easy to play with. We are attacking over here with the 34th, 35th, and the 57th Infantry Brigade against the 12th Chinese Corps and the 85th Chinese Corps, as well as the 3rd Group Army. Well, you'd think so. I mean, they've been under so much detection for the last few days, but hey-ho. Maybe next time. Maybe tomorrow we'll get an actual attack on them. Okay, so we do kick them out of a hex then, and they're due towards Ankang. So they're going to go over here to the north across the rail line. Yeah, okay. That's always fun when they do stuff like that. But that's not too much of a problem. So we have 512 casualties here, 1 destroyed, 56 disabled, 3,127 there, 121, 8, and 12. A bit of pain in the arse, but I can deal with it. We do have a division in SunYan, which I could just march across onto the hex there and deal with them. We are attacking over here as well, so we see the 1st Chinese Corps, which is interesting actually. There are a number of divisions of the Chinese army that do have good TOEs actually, and I can't recall which one that is. I think that might be one of them. I believe the 6th is one, but I'm not sure. And they do retreat to the north, which is not too surprising there. See you later, Plumber. Have a good one, man. Make sure you beat them up too. So we have 217 casualties, 1 destroyed, 15 disabled, 2 destroyed, 2 disabled, 292 casualties inflicted. Sorry, no, 292 destroyed here for the squads, 140 non-combat destroyed, 4 engineers destroyed, 3 disabled. Yeah, exactly. Dive bomb them. Give them the drop kick. They'll never see it coming. Yeah, so that division, that corps, sorry, was really quite bad at being up there. Yeah, it will be a river crossing from SunYan, but they've taken casualties, so it'll be a shock attack and clear terrain. Right, so we do take that. In fairness, it does speed things up for us slightly. Okay, there we go. So, Chiang Mai has managed to level 3 fortifications. I'm somewhat contemplating maybe building the airfield up, but it's not worthwhile. We do have now Zabas, and the size of the airfield is size 2, which is good. I believe that is a prerequisite to allow the usage of torpedoes. But it's always good to have a size 2. But I'm not too sure, actually. I'd have to double check the manual. Manual? God, can't speak. The issue is sometimes the actual, as written in the manual, it doesn't actually apply anymore, which is kind of funny. There we go. Nice quick turn. Should make for a quick turnaround, ideally. So we'll have a good little bit of a summary, and then we might see about getting it back as quickly as possible, actually. I'll see you later there, G-Man. Have a good one, my man. Looks like Danban's using float planes for evac. I don't know if you can actually do that. Oh, you mean like the PBYs? Yeah, he's been using PBYs for that, yeah. I thought you meant like just like the normal float planes. I'm like, that'd be really interested. He'd need a lot of them. Okay, we'll save it there. Right, okay. So... oh, right, I do have my sub out here, which actually shouldn't be in that hex. Yeah, that was a boo-boo. Which hex is that? Is that Ocean Shadow there? But we do see, well, we'll move it anyway. Didn't get attacked this time, which is nice. I can see the amount of men over here is increasing, which is really, really bloody interesting. And he's got men over here. I really can't fathom as to what he's doing here, but the thing is, what we'll do then simply in the future is just bombard living hell out of it. Right, so we do see our forces over here. He's marching to the north. Looks like we might have port detection here, which is not giving us the number of men. But frankly, if he's going to try and evac this way, it's not going to work, because frankly, once we have control of the skies around here, which we already do in fairness, the only reason I'm somewhat cautious is because of the H-81s. I know, but the thing is that of Oken, it's like, he's not going to get there. And even if he gets there, he's not going to be able to evac. I can understand what he's attempting to do, but it's not going to work. Still tempting, might be tempted to actually put paratroopers over here at Prome, really, just to stop them moving there. Oh, someone's a negative Sally today. Right, let's march to the north. The good news is we do have a tank here, so we can actually keep up with them quite handily. Maybe paratroopers over here, but I'd have to double check. Probably not. Oh, it's suggesting there's going to be units over here then. Right, so we know they're here. Okay. We do have the TIE forces moving this way. That's okay. Yeah, but I don't agree with that. You like saying he will arrive, but he will arrive if we don't do anything. Why would we not do anything? Of course we're going to do something to try and prevent that. If we don't do anything, the fact would be he would arrive there. But if we do something, the fact is he won't arrive there. Mandalay to close the Burma Road. Possibly. Need to check the manual. Either way, we'll be taking the entirety of Burma shortly enough. Right, these fellows over here. I mean, okay, Voken. Well, we do have paratroopers. I mean, what if we take Aki out before he gets there? Like, what's he going to do then? I get what you're trying to say, but I think you're being a bit single-minded in it. Right, so we'll have tanks move over the road there. What we need to be able to do then, the difficulty is because he has this as a blocking force, we need to be able to defeat that blocking force and move on here. We would have the actual tanks able to make it up here. Well, we don't know, so it's not worth going over something we don't know about as of yet. What we'll do then is obviously get reconnaissance over there, but even if it's occupied, like, what's it going to prevent a division? You know what I mean? It's like, we'll take it bit by bit. So he didn't actually attack at Pegu today, which is somewhat surprising. I thought he would have done, actually. Kind of expected him to do that. So obviously ammunition is going to be low there. We do have our AKs moving up over this way now, which is good. Rangoon actually looks like it might be cleared of mines, which is quite nice. It's a size 4 port, but I don't think we'd have the ability to rearm the heavy cruisers as of yet. I did actually have the TIE divisions put into combat mode just to make sure they were in the correct mode in case it did attack. I can't recall seeing the 18th, maybe. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what its formation is composed of, though. He may not have had the forces actually to build it, but I'm not too sure. The issue is obviously not playing allies. A lot of that stuff is quite mysterious. Right, so we have 5th Division complete now, which is good. Oh, actually saying that, there's still a little bit aboard the transports over here. Right, he starts the division. Okay. Right, so we do have our TIE division over here, which is excellent news. And you can see that we have control of that. That's good. Now, I do have a tank regiment marching to the north over here. I always say march when it's a tank, isn't it? It's going to drive. So they're going to be over here. I do have TIE forces marching over here. We do have our forces over here as well. So, what I could do then, so we have these guys. I would like to have... Oh, the good news actually is we have the 15th Army here, which I kept in combat mode. But I think what I'm going to do is have it move up the road here. I need to make sure I control these hexes. I do want to actually force it to surrender, really. That'd be ideal. We do have the 4th RTA over here. I'm going to continue to march them up over here then to Tung, whatever you want to pronounce it as. If we have the ability to do so, I will do so. But the good news is we have control of that jungle rough terrain now, which is excellent. We do have our 7th RTA marching south, so it should arrive here tomorrow, which is good. We'll have to devise a plan to actually block him. But frankly, I'd have expected our G3s to have sank the ships by now, but apparently not. I imagine it doesn't help that they're all in single task forces like that, but eventually we will get them. What's the weather here today? We'll check on the squadron's commander, by the way. Right. So, light cloud over there. Okay, let's take a look at the actual squadron commanders then. That might be the reason as to why. I am moving more aviation up over here as well. So, air's 38, aggression's 30. That might be why it looks like a low. Yeah, 38, 49. So it looks like they've got poor commanders here, so we can change those out. I'll take a look at the actual web page for choosing leaders, and we'll change them out. So that might be as why then. Which, okay, fair enough. I did actually transfer another group of the Key 43s out this way as well. Okay. That's why. When I've clicked to actually have them escort to this hex, I must have clicked over here. If you don't actually hover over the base, it doesn't come up, so that's why. Right, that is... Okay, fair enough. Lost a Sally from that little thing there. Yeah, well, we know he's capping that, so we know that we have to bomb them. I wanted to bomb them here, but I don't think it would have been good, enough to stop him. We'll also devise a plan there. And the thing is, we also do have a paratroopers, so we'll have to figure out how we want to use them. It might be simply a case that we actually shock attack this hex over here with the paratroopers. It has the one unit over here. The terrain is jungle, though. I just wish the G3s would have actually got that, but that's fine. We'll change out the commanders and we'll attack that. We do have said heavy cruisers, so if necessary, what I could do is obviously just land a naval guard unit or something of that nature. We just need to get an idea of the actual scale of the threat there. But, in fairness, if he's actually just considering evacuation, I think that signals quite a lot about his intent, well, about his ability to fight in Burma. But we'll not make it easy. We'll have the tanks arrive in this hex tomorrow. It's always about catching up, but we will be able to slow them down to a degree if we can get the bombs concentrated. Just need to get the escorts in there. What I could probably do then is just have an actual Zero Squadron used to escort them. The only reason why I haven't been doing that is because of these bloody H81s, which we've seen he has a cap over here. Not a large one, but he had a cap nonetheless. So it might be that we just sweep over their head and then just get the bombers and slow them down. If I could slow them down with the bombers, which is doable, I just need to make sure I have control of the airspace over there, then we'll be able to slow them down, force them to move in combat mode, we'll have the tanks catch up, we'll have the infantry catch up, eventually. Okay. So we do have a 22nd Air Flotilla over here at long last, which is really excellent. So that gives Port Blair now the pretty deadly capacity to launch torpedoes against him. Continue to build up the airfield. We do have 214 engineers and 11 vehicles, which is excellent. So that gives us all we need there. We'll keep that being built up. I will have to deliver more supply, but frankly, we've had more supply delivered here, which is nice. What I'd like to do is actually get maybe like a Naval Guard unit in there, just something with like some proper AV, just to make sure that we can hold that base against any sort of like casual invasion, really. But I will have our port expanded to a size 3 in the future. We're going to get to size 4 airfield, maybe even larger perhaps, but size 4, and then maybe build a port up. But I would like to, I'd like to go ahead and build up these other bases as well in the area. But that's good, that gives us additional capabilities. With the aviation support here, it works well. In fairness, I could actually have a G4M1 based over here at Port Blair. And if we take a look at the distance there, that is 13 hexes, so just outside the range of the Key 43s. But obviously we'll be able to base the Key 43s here at Rangoon soon enough. Do have the Kois over here. Right. Now that's interesting, actually. It's considered... Right. Ah, yes, I'm marching to the north there. Right, get them into movement mode. Okay, so we have 1st Tank Regiment here. I think because we've had signal intelligence there in the past, I'm honestly not too sure, really. It might be because we knew about them on game start, but I'm not sure. It is kind of odd, I agree, but I don't know, really. Not too sure. Okay, so I do need to actually get the AV in here. It is transferring across. He is running V6 out of 11 there, so he's also running reconnaissance. I do have Key 27s actually running cap at this moment in time. Obviously, there's no aviation support, so obviously they're going to have breakdowns sooner rather than later. There's enough to keep it protected for now. Obviously, it's going to see that there are fighters there. Right, okay. Now... I do have the rest of the 62nd to transfer over to Port Blair, but I probably will transfer aviation units elsewhere. We do have the regiments closing in on Sabang, which is nice, so not too far there. I am transferring over the 7th and the 5th Airfield Construction Battalions. I'm going to have them moved into Victoria Point so they can be moved out across into this area. I am building up the port. It might be worthwhile building that port up because it is actually a pretty good transit point there from Thailand and Malaya, really. Discounting Georgetown. We don't really have it. To be honest, we do have some, I guess. Well, actually saying that, there's not really any port as such that's on the rail line. That's the only problem. Maybe it'd be worthwhile building one up in the future, but by the time we'd need that, well, by the time we'd have that, it wouldn't be needed anymore, so... Oh well. Okay. I'll have them rest that time. These units aren't moving right now. Alright, closing in on Sabang, which is nice. They might... Yeah, they'll arrive then on the 13th of February, so we should be able to attack Sabang on the 14th of February. Give or take if there's any issues. Right, we do have our regiments marching south, so we have 144th, which will be... so here on the 12th, they'll be here on the 14th, so we can have an attack on the 15th and give or take. Alright, that's okay. So I'm going to have them rest. Let that fatigue and disruption die down. Okay. Have these assets loaded up. I do have some fuel being transferred down this way to Maxar. Good news is it's got severe storms overhead, and it's not detected, which is very nice. The APD Tade had arrived. They're unloading, but I'm going to make sure that, let's see. As long as there's SLF on over here, that's fine. So tell them to not unload. Well, actually, no. Cancel that unloading. I can have them docked and refueled. So replenish from port. And there we go. We're good to go now. So look at them moving out elsewhere. There are little bases like that I do need to take. But I want to concentrate on taking bases down this way. That may be a little bit too close to Sorbaya, considering there are still bombers and fighters here, so you could still attack there. So maybe it's worthwhile actually, maybe it is worthwhile going up over this way, taking these bases in this area. There are a number of ones in the Philippines that are unoccupied, so it'd be worthwhile taking them. So we'll have them head north and take that. I'm looking forward to when we deal with Sorbaya. Right, so that's roughly going as well as can be expected for the time being. So this is what I was talking about regarding the B5N2, so we have them over here. So these are hero-free B5N2s. I did have them actually run rest, so they've still got 13 fatigue, but it's not too bad. We do have a decent number of actually of them in the pool. So we do see here the 9 bombers, 12 auxiliaries. We see 4 units over here, so he's actually building Port Moresby up, which is really intriguing. Well, that's good to know, but the good news is we finally have the reconnaissance. So we will suppress Moresby now. That is what we're going to be doing. We will have Kidabati sailed out in the very close region. It might even be we just have her head south. I did have her moved over here into the shallow waters. Southwest, moving west, moving east. Okay, he did have her subs around this way last turn. He might be moving out of the area, in fact. Interesting that we have detection on. Oh, is it 4 out of 4? But I guess that's from the actual attack of the sub there, which makes sense. Right, okay. Yep. What we will be doing then is actually making use of the big old battleships, the 5, is it the 4 or 5? I think it's about the 4. It's a mix of Fuso, Issei, and Binagato. We'll have them bombard Moresby. The good news is we can definitely accomplish that. He will have the carriers, but that might be the way we actually engineer our battle there. But we'll have the B5N2s actually used to hit shipping in this area now. We see that he doesn't have fighters here at this moment in time, which is good. We see that he does have bombers. And a good number of auxiliaries, so we can imagine those are PPYs. These assets over here are actually undetected, which is good. We decided to offload them at Finnshafen, considering the fact that it was closer and somewhat safer. We have these zeros over here in cap in that little area. But yeah, it gets us supply to Lay. You can see that we do have a lot of supply in this area. We do have here, yeah, so it's 9,126 tons. The issue with Lay is its damage should be slow and loading to begin with. Take some time. Hey, Denef. Felix, good to have you, my man. I do have the APD Oi going over here to Gazmar to take that base. But it's good to see that we know this. The beautiful thing is the fact that we have the actual reconnaissance now. We can actually take a look into any of these bases. We can figure out what's going on in the area now at long last. Should have had that from the start, really, but now we have it. We have it. Okay. I do need to get some fuel moved down here to Shortlands. Yeah, I can see there's subs over here moving north. Northwest. Northeast. He's definitely looking for Kidabati. He's definitely looking for shipping in this area, but this is the beauty of the Jakes. It's just they're so goddamn effective. Every single turn we've detected him. Every single turn we know where he will be. That's the important thing. When subs are located, it actually impacts on their ability to operate. So how it works is, for example, so we see a sub down here as well. You have operation points. So you have 1,000 in a day for a ship. And that just includes doing everything. For submarines, every time they're detected and buzzed by aircraft, that decreases that. Well, it uses up some of their operation points. You can imagine that being like where the submarine is actually diving and obviously trying to escape the attention of a aircraft. Okay, let's see. Good, so she made it in here. Yeah, so what I wanted to do then, I was a little bit conscious of Kopang having a little bit of, well, having a little AV. So what I wanted to do then, I'm quite glad I managed to get it in here, was actually to get about 15 AV into the base. So we have 26 AV here now, which is nice. That's good enough. It's good enough to actually have the place protected against most threats, which is nice. Yeah, it's just that over here, I'd rather not have to deal with that. I'm going to move and supply down that way. We have, yeah, it's loading up very slowly, but that's fine. I do have supply moving down this way. He does detect that, so he'll probably have subs moving that way, so I'll probably have to... I might have that just unload in diddly. But we'll double check on that one afterwards. So we have the 4th Division continuing to recover. I almost had the 4th Division move out today. Which is why I have this force over here, which is set up for them to be carried out of here. I'm going to give them more time to recover, but I would likely have them brought either against this hex over here, or likely against Mindanao, perhaps. Maybe into China, maybe into Burma. We have them as our reserve right now, so we have a lot of things we can do with them. But I'm very happy about this. The good news is now, I mean, that's the range of the G4M1 with the torpedoes. If I could get some zeros into here at Port Blair, we'd have range out to 14 with torpedoes. So this area becomes quite dangerous for him to operate in the future now, which is good. But I will be able to actually increase the strength of Port Blair, really be able to protect ourselves over here. It really helps to insulate Bangkok and really helps to insulate Thailand. It insulates quite a lot of the Japanese Empire, which is quite good. Right, so I've got the tanks over here. So the terrain then, what's the terrain? So it becomes jungle rough over here then. Okay. We need to run reconnaissance, but I believe you can power drop into single hexes. I can't recall, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do it into single hexes. Pretty sure. There's usually house rules against that sort of thing. It might be worthwhile to drop into that hex there, but I'm not too sure. Maybe here. He has to get in there from a funny direction, I believe. I think he could go from here. So, we'll see. But either way, I think we should be able to get them. I'm not too sure, actually. I'm sure it... I feel like it can be done, but I haven't tried it. I don't even have 20 seconds here. I have 20 seconds on the rail line. Well, I'll take that word for it. Take the word for it at the moment in time. Yeah, there's only the one unit over here at Remry Island. I just really need the G3s to attack there, but I'll get those commanders changed out. We'll have a Zero Squadron escort in, and then we'll just start bombing bombing this here. Yeah. Yeah, that's the issue, isn't there? There's a lot of stuff that does make it... How the hell? What? Right. So... that happened, even though the actual movement tick was showing this way. It's actually moved that way. Okay. Sure. Okay, sure game. Love it when you do things like that. That's definitely, that's definitely confusing. Oh, that's so much fun. Had a good time up out here. So yes, he has that core there. We actually do have the 2 Naval Guard units unloaded in here, which is nice. So that gives us another 120 AV. We have 93 hit at this moment in time, so it'll take us to about 200 AV or so. It's only clear terrain, which is not great, but at least I can bring in more reinforcements if needed. Can't really allow him to take any of these bases and cause us problems, really. Right, okay. So I do have a 13th Tank Regiment heading elsewhere. What I wanted to do with the 13th Tank Regiment is I'd like it to head down this road if we can get it to do so, and I'd like to take that hex there. Right, so we're marching out from Xi'an. I need more reconnaissance. I can definitely get more reconnaissance in China, but I need that really quickly. Just to really get an accurate picture of what's going on. Right, so we are moving here. Everybody's following the 25th Division. Also, we do have that fatigue, so we're not moving super quick, but it should bleed off fairly quickly. I could have maybe it would have been worthwhile just resting here today at Xi'an, but I don't know. It's worthwhile to get the miles in. Yeah, so they're following 25th. We're going to go into combat mode today. The reason is I could take a risk in movement mode, but it's not worthwhile. We should still have about 3 days or so to cross in total. It's not worth taking the chances, though. Okay. In fairness, the actual headquarters will function now properly in combat mode. So should possibly be able to see that fatigue drop. I don't think it drops actually when you're marching, so never mind. That's fine. We did kick them out over here, which is excellent. Right, march to the north. And that means I can actually have this armoured car used elsewhere now. So, I think I will have that armoured car move down that way, actually. But again, these armoured car units are quite good. But they're armoured. They move as fast as any other armoured regiment, so... Car, tank doesn't particularly matter. The speed's the same. Okay. I'm moving a couple of units out here. One over here to this hex. One over here from Mangan down here as well to block him, ideally. Okay. I do have... Yes. There we go. We do have the 62nd being loaded up over here. I was going to have them moved into Eba to actually help out as the garrison. But considering that we can actually see that he is deploying his forces out here, I think I'm going to have them move down to the Chinese coast as well. If he's going to play dirty, we'll play dirtier. I can head back into Canton. The good news is if needed, I can move additional units into southern China. Okay. So I'm moving that 81st. I've actually decided I'm going to have the 81st move to Port Blair. This does not seem to be a complaint. For some reason, it's counting the AV as more than what it actually is, which is odd. Yokosuka. So these are paratroopers, actually. I did manage to recollect that unit. So I'm going to have them shifted down to China. Well, to Shanghai, I think. I might have them shifted elsewhere. But I want to have the ability to drop paratroopers in China. Might have them moved elsewhere. So let's take a look then. So, what do we see in terms of movement? So it's got the 2 units over here now. Okay. 2 units there. 2 here. 2, 1. I'm moving a division out this way. Yes, we do have 15th Division that can be rebuilt now, which is good. 478 AV, so they're looking pretty damn good, aren't they? Have that push up as well. I want to try and establish a perimeter. I do not know the strength of Changsha. He's got to have at least 160 AV there, so it's going to be at least a core in Changsha. But I'm going to try and push the perimeter out here and really try to insulate this area as much as possible. Space can be a valuable asset. Right, so we took that, so that's okay. Let's take a look at the roads, actually. When it loads. Right, so I do have secondary road about halfway in there, which is about the same from over here at SunYan. Okay. Still the 3 units here. Yeah, we do have a major there. Well, actually, it seems like there is a trail there, which makes things a little bit awkward. Let's see. What I can do then is... It's a bit of a pain in the arse, frankly. As we're going to have them march north. Oh, actually, no, I can just march them across. What am I on about? Never mind. That's fine. Never mind. I might as well have them moved out to Wujiang now. Yeah, never mind. That works out nicely. I'll have the brigade moved into Xinjiang. (34th Division). Actually, I'll have them told to follow 34th Division, but I don't need to mess them. So follow. The brigade, however, can just move to the north. Like so. I do have a brigade which is prepared to move out this way, because there is a Chinese corps on this road. We've lost track of it now, but I know it's in there. Right, so making good progress. Again, the assets actually work now is good. Right, rest there. Just need to make sure we have Chinese units, our own Chinese units, on every hex of this roadway, really. I do have an aviation unit moving up to Xi'an, which is good. So soon enough we'll be able to get some fighters in here at Xi'an, just to make sure we look after it. Complain about supply here at Xi'an. We can see supplies building up. Obviously, we do have a pretty damn big need of supply there. We do have the major roads, which is nice. We do have supply that's been unloaded over here as well, which is good. That'll be the second load unloaded. So that might be like something like 34,000 tons of supply moved in there extra from Port Arthur. Don't particularly need it to pull at Port Arthur, so we can brute force the system to some degree. But now we're looking pretty damn well, actually. Looking pretty well. He still has that bloody sub in Rabar, which is really a pain in the arse. He'll probably have it on zero reaction. How you doing there, Snake? Good to have you, my man. What's new this turn? Well, we did have a double bombardment at Pegu, which was a little bit disappointing, actually. I kind of expected more, but it looks like because we had low detection, actually, which is somewhat surprising there. I would have expected more detection, so that explains why the bombardment wasn't as effective. But okay. What I'm doing here, then, let's see. So I've got the one unit. What I can do, then, is actually have that begin moving south, which will make things a little bit easier for me. I have this over here. So we do have these guys arrested. What I'm going to do, then, is actually have one of them head south, which will take 2 days. We just need to stop them. We need to keep them in Burma. Maybe it would have been worthwhile putting the paratroopers in there, but he did have the AV to probably kick them out, so he'd attack today, so wouldn't really have gained as much, would it? Yeah, okay. So we know that we need to check on the G3 pilots. Well, so the squadron commanders, getting that sorted. We've got the air flotilla there. Looking good. US cruisers better at bombardment than Japanese. He had definitely good detection. The reason why we didn't have a good bombardment at Pegu was obviously because we had the poor detection there. He did also have a shitload of cruisers in there. But I think in a lot of ways he got lucky there too. He did have good detection, but I think it was a lot of luck too. So, go fish. Okay. Yeah, it's good to see that Moresby is a confirmed threat. So we'll tackle that. He doesn't have that many units that we can't handle. The only difficulty is the fact that we have to go around here. But in fairness, we're operated from our base cluster. His base clusters are down this way. Of course, it does have Moresby, but that's one base that can be suppressed. If he builds a base up for us, then that's nice of him. I mean, that might actually be the position. This might be the actual place that begins the decisive battle for us, really. And that's a battle that we can win. Subs over here are a bit of a problem, but we can manage that. I do have these subs pulling back over here, so we did get some detection. So, yeah, I'm aware that he's running Surge out from Midway. Yeah, none too surprising there. I'm going to have them return to Paradigmblue. What I'm instead going to do, I was contemplating leaving the illusions later, but I would like to have an illusions base sooner rather than later. The reason is we can see that Midway is pretty heavily patrolled. Oh well. But now, pretty good turn, Ben. I don't think there's too much left to talk about. Ideal can try and get it finished off, and we'll be able to possibly even see another turn tonight. But yeah, I think things are going well enough, really. It's mostly just getting the actual movement across the board going. Now, I could attack over here to Bagoo, but I'm not going to. I mean, I could. Yeah, I could do that, actually. I'd like to make sure I get these hexes, so I think another day, and then I will probably attack. If he attacks us, that's fine. But I want to make sure we surround him here. So we'll have a unit here, we'll have a unit here, then tomorrow. We'll have these units moving down here. Why not trying to attack inside island south of Moresby to get a shield for the attack? Oh, you mean like take the islands? Whoops. Like these islands over here? Well, the good news is we have this base cluster. And I would have the Gidabadai used as well. So we'd have obviously the land-based assets, which obviously more than have a range. But obviously having the Gidabadai on hand. What we'd attempt to do really is have the land-based aircraft protect the actual bombardment forces as they go around here. We'd have Gidabadai heading south like this way. The idea would be something about a hammer and anvil tactic. Heavy cover. Still a bit risky, but heavy enough cover would be doable. I can see what Snake's talking about. I mean, the idea would be just to have more base clusters down here. But in fairness, this is all we need. But then we'd have the Gidabadai move down this way. So the idea would be that if we saw his carriers move in, we'd have the Gidabadai move in here to flank and ideally attack. Okay. So I think that's all I need to do for now. It's been a good turn. Not a huge amount happened because obviously we just have our units in motion right now. So we had, yeah, there we go. So they burnt off a good amount of fatigue there. It might be worthwhile giving them another day actually, just to get rid of all that fatigue. Yeah, maybe give them another day. There's no great rush, but the sooner we take it, the better. But I think it might be, well, with 0 fatigue, we make 15 miles a day. It's probably worthwhile just giving them that time to rest there. Just a small amount of time to recuperate, and then move them onto Bataan. I may just get them moving, but it might be that an extra day we might actually arrive there sooner because we don't have the fatigue to worry about. We'll see. The good news is we have Rangoon under our control. I do have the AKEs moving up over here now. Well, I'll probably just have them moved into Bagoo then, actually. So they'll move 6 tomorrow. We'll have them move to Bagoo. Go with that. I might have these AKs moved out to Rangoon, or maybe have an AK moved to Port Blair. Let's see. So they're moving back into port over here, Victoria. Milne Bay. Where's Milne Bay? Oh, Milne Bay's right to the tip, isn't it? Yeah. Now, that'd be quite nice, as it is good to have. We'll take a look at that. Yeah. Well, that's as the Vulcan says there, obviously it's exposed to bombardment. It'd be nice as like an ASW base, really. That'd be the nice thing. But in fairness, I could use Buna for that. But obviously having that closer would be ideal. But it is exposed. But we'll see. It's been interesting. I think he might have actually attempted to evacuate Moresby to begin with, but he now seems to be building it up. But this is, he'll manage it. Yeah, PT Boat and Minister of Active Minds is a good idea, actually. The good news is we have more supply in here. The excellent thing is we can just move supply to the interior. Really nice. Okay. Right. So I do have these units here. I'm going to get the 36. This base doesn't need a garrison. We know he's not sending units here. And then he's moving in there. Okay. I could load supply here, but I'm not going to do that. There's only 3,200 here, so it's not worth it. I also, well, that artillery unit needs to head elsewhere, so I can have that moved aboard the other ship there, the other task force for 2. We'll get these guys moving out. A couple more aviation units would be useful. As to whether they'll head to Port Blair, I'm going to have them set to Port Blair for now, but I might even just... Well, actually, I could probably have 36. I think there's 36 over here to Port Blair. I could do with probably having one moved into Rangoon, to be honest. We do have assets moving to Rangoon, but we'll sort it out. Hey, done that pistol? I'm so sorry I haven't been keeping up. Started school the past Monday. Oh, wow. But congratulations, man. I'm really proud of that. I'm really glad to hear that you're doing well. I mean, that's it. Education is always the way forward. And a little bit jealous you got a job there. Definitely jealous of that definite income. Oh dear. Right, so I need to change that. Not a whole lot else really, which is nice. Just gonna keep moving. Good to have you, pistol, by the way. Okay, just waiting on the reinforcements over here for the 40th Division. How are these guys here? A little bit of disruption. I'll give them a day to burn that disruption off and then attack again. We had almost a successful attack. We had 2-to-1 odds here. If I attacked again, I might be able to get 3-to-1 odds, but I'm going to wait for the additional men to arrive, or at least give them a day's rest. We might actually take it by ear. They've got quite a bit of fatigue there, so I might actually rest them. I better attack maybe the day after if it's burnt off enough. Either or, really. I can see that, yes, 56th Division is recovering strength quite nicely now. I'd love to break them up, but it's not worthwhile doing. I mean, it could be done, actually, and they would actually recover sooner rather than later. Actually, yeah, that's worthwhile doing. He's not likely to attack, and even the divisions of the divisions of the division, the detachments of the division, are actually decently strong. But yeah, they actually have the ability to get extra replacements like that, so that's worthwhile doing. That's the big strength of divisions versus regiments, really. This is moving more men in here. I haven't attacked here, and I think it's probably worthwhile attacking, actually. Just see what he's got. Okay, so we have that base. They're moving over there to take that, so they're loaded up and moving. That's good. Now, so what we need to do then is make sure we have a decision in place. Get maybe the G4s over this way, but it's good to have this. Well, ring a dang do. What the heck is that? Okay. That's a bit random there, spiraling. Or do you plan after you take the rest of Java, Australia, or maybe the... Well, Australia, or maybe the islands east of Australia? Well, you'd have to watch the last episode for that one. It'd be something that we do see become possibly more and more concrete. We do have my mouse decided. Come on, mouse. Okay, there we go. Mouse is back in. We do have an idea, but it's going to rely on taking China first, so we'll take it from there. So let's see then. Aircraft losses today. Sally, Babs, G4, G3, B5. He loses a H81, so that's not too bad, but I guess 1-to-1 for the Sally to the H81. Sank that bear. Yeah, we'll get in there. So about 2 more days, give or take. On the second, well, we should have a shock attack here on the 13th day then, actually. Sorry, on the 13th of February. I could do again some bombers to actually bomb them, but it doesn't look to be moving right now. He might be too disorganized to move, but I doubt that. I like that. That's pretty cool there, spiraling. Okay. Now, I do have the Armoured Car Company moving this way as well. They're moving towards Xi'an. We do have Epics Brigade moving this way as well. The good news is it gives us that ability to clear the road, which is excellent. Make sure we control said roads. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here. We might be able to get a second turn in today, so let's hope for that. So until next time, thank you for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, do go ahead and subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. If you do have Amazon Prime, or if you'd like to support me as a content creator, perhaps do consider becoming a Twitch Prime subscriber. That'd be much appreciated. Until next time, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Tena Haika Banzai, Iceycrome, sayonara. I do see you later on tonight.